Holy war? Some say that God has approved of their mob, esteeming their purposes alone, choosing sides with definite pride, and taking their cause for his own. Everybody loves a holy war. Should a Christian ever go to war? Or should Christians be pacifists, refusing to take up arms no matter what the cause? This is a tough issue for believers today. It wasn't much simpler for our forefathers, though warfare has changed dramatically, from swords and spears to nuclear warheads and stealth bombers. The core issue remains the same. When, if ever, is it right for God's people to go into physical battle? Let's examine God and his orders for his chosen nation of Israel in the Old Testament. Numbers 31. God tells us to go to war with the Midianites and to utterly destroy them. After crushing the Midianite army, the Israelites took all the Midianite women and children as captives along with their possessions. God wasn't satisfied with that. Through Moses, his appointed leader, God commanded his soldiers to kill all the women who had ever had sex with a man, and to kill all the boys. Only young female virgins were to be spared. Why did God require such horrible punishment for Israel's enemies? Aren't Christians supposed to be loving and kind peacemakers? To answer this, we have to understand the basic differences between the Old Testament nation of Israel and God's people today. In the Old Testament, God was leading his nation to a physical promised land, Canaan. Along the way, for obvious reasons, who would voluntarily give up his or her home? They were opposed by numerous other nations, like the Midianites. The problem wasn't simply that these other people were in the way. They also were guilty of practicing detestable idol worship, among other things. These pagan worshippers held worship rituals involving sexual immorality, devotion to false gods, and even child sacrifice. No wonder God's anger burned against them, and he told Israel to cleanse Canaan of them. He didn't want their profane ways affecting his people. For Christians today, however, the situation is different in some key aspects. We are being led to our promised land, but ours is heaven rather than on earth. There are no pagan nations to be terminated. Our war is a spiritual one. For we are not fighting people made of flesh and blood, but against the evil rulers and authorities of unseen world, against those mighty powers of darkness who rule this world, and against wicked spirits in the heavenly realms. Ephesians 6 verse 12. God's people today are not determined by nationality, but by spirituality. Whereas God's blessings and promises before belonged to Abraham's physical descendants, they now belong to those who are spiritually grafted in Abraham's line. Therefore, when any nation goes to war today, its cause may be just, but it cannot be considered holy in the way Israel's wars were. Israel had God himself fighting battles for them, and he often gave Israel miraculous assistance and assurance of victory. No modern nation can claim, not the United States, Iran, England, Afghanistan, or even Israel. So, should a Christian go to war? Unfortunately, you won't find the final answer here. We see in God's word that as God has at times told his people to go to war with other people. Therefore, those who believe war is never right should reconsider. Still, not all wars are fought for the cause of righteousness. Some would say almost none of them is. So many wars can't even be considered justified, much less holy.